Keltec is a proud sponsor of the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade.
You guys ready? Ready to do this?
Good.
All right, Leadheads. Welcome back to another episode of the Talking Lead podcast. I am your host with the most, Lefty, where we have been leducating the uneducated for 10 years, actually 10 and a half years now, here on the Talking Lead podcast. All the leducation, each and every episode, we bring you something new, exciting, and educational. And today, we've got some great leducation for you lead heads. We're going to learn about a new product from our friends at Valiant Dynamics, brought to you by our friends at Ryker USA, Ron Holmes, and we're going to have Ron talk about some of his new products as well. But we want to get to know the guys at Valiant Dynamics. They've got a really cool accessory for your AR or AK, depending on what kind of attachments that you've got.
Or shotgun.
Or shotgun. It's a buttstock, so there we go. I'll just go ahead and spoil the lead there, but we're going to talk about those guys. I'm going to go ahead and introduce them. I'll start off with the person who put this all together is our good buddy Ron Holmes, Ryker USA. Ron, welcome in.
Thank you. It's good to be on the show again.
Is this your first time on the real show?
The real show. Everything else has always been at SHOT Show or the NRA.
Right. We've always had those brief, short kind of interactions there. So you've not done the new guy questions yet either. So we're going to hit you with the new guy questions today too. This will be fun. Ready. We got 3 new guys on the show. This is going to be awesome. So as you leadheads know, and you've heard in previous episodes, Ron is with Ryker USA, and Ryker has they started off with the Ryker grip, and I'm holding one up. Can you see it?
Upside down.
Oh, yeah, there we go. The Ryker grip, and it has evolved over the years to where they've got integrated switches in their controls now, and they've got some other things going on. So we're going to let Ron talk about that. He briefly went over that during, like he said, our NRA interview, but we're going to get more details with that. Ron, introduce your friends that you've brought with us today with Valiant Dynamics.
So I got to become really good friends with Todd through phone calls and text messages, and I actually saw their product pop up on Instagram. And I was watching it and looking at it, and I was like, this is awesome. I went and ordered one. I got it shot, went out to range, I shot it, and then I hit Todd right up away. I totally geeked out and fanboyed on him. And then we just started chatting, and then found that, our products complement each other. I've been running this. It's well over a year and a half. I've been running the EvolvR stock. And from there, we're just trying to coordinate and, help each other in the industry where we have a lot of struggles, expanding reach and in the marketing space. So we share ideas, and we, techniques for, grassroots and getting in front of people. And I've tried to pass on a lot of lessons learned for me from doing so many vendor shows to them as they were just starting out. But this is my first time meeting Chris, and first time actually seeing Todd. But yeah, so there you go. So
introduce them, tell their names.
So is Chris, is Todd, veteran-owned company, and I tell you, this thing is great. We sell it, we offer it, we sell it at all the vendor shows we go. We believe in the product.
Right. And you introduced it to us at NRA, and we were I was very skeptical at first. And I've still not had an opportunity to actually go out and and run it, but I've seen your videos and watched you do some of the, the things that you've done with it, and I've watched their promotional things with it, and it's got its place. It definitely has its place, and we're going to learn more about that. So Todd and Charlie, welcome into the show.
Thank you.
Yeah,
good to be
thank
here.
you very much.
Absolutely. So we're going to learn more about Valiant. We're going to learn more about you guys as we get into this, but we have to thank our sponsors, those that make this show possible each and every week. Mission First Tactical. You guys go to Mission First Tactical, use the code LEADHEAD. You're going to get 20% off anything that you buy at Mission First Tactical. And they have a slew of new products there. You've heard us talk about them over the past few months. Since the beginning of the year, it seems like they've been dropping something every couple of months. So you got to keep up to date on their website, keep watching their Instagrams, keep listening to the show. Their hybrid holsters that they've got, the Kydex and the leather, they've got a new color available in those. They have their new Pro holsters available that use a magnetic retention system. It's very cool. I think I showed you that at NRA, Ron. I'm not sure if I did or not. I thought I did, but it's a really cool holster, new kind of a concept that they've perfected. And then, of course, their AR accessories that they have there, AK grips, their dump trays, their tactical dump trays. I use these for my armorer's trays, guys, when I'm breaking my guns down and whatnot. Very cool. You can get all kinds of things printed on this, anything that you want, really. You just tell them what you want, send them the image, and they can put it on there. And it's like ink injected in there, so that stuff's not gonna scratch off. It's on there for forever. So go to Mission First Tactical, show them the love, and use that code, and they're going to show you the love. And, of course, our friends at Seal One and Done, CLP. This stuff is great for corrosion protection, and not only for your firearms, but for your knives, for your archery. You can put this stuff on your bow. It's great to lube up your strings, and it works on great for marine items too. So Seal One and Done. Use the code LEADHEAD, and that's where you're going to get 25% off at seal1.com. Our good buddies over there are going to take care of you. And, of course, you listen to the AK Corner each and every month, and we give you stuff away from Mission First Tactical and Seal One. And they love you. They love you, leadheads. I'll talk more about some more of our sponsors throughout the show. Kel-Tec, Defiant Munitions, Medicine in Bad Places, Kraken Cases, Lockdown. I'll give you some more discount codes. Factory 47. We got a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff to talk about.
Attention business owners. Are you ready to take your marketing game to the next level? Look no further than Black Tie Digital Marketing, the firearm-friendly, full-service agency that delivers results. We've worked with industry giants like Kel-Tec, Spikes Tactical, and Armalite, and we even designed the kick-ass new logo at Talkin' Lead. At Black Tie, we blend creativity and data-driven strategies to ensure your message hits the mark every time. From high-end custom websites, graphic design, to inbound marketing campaigns, and everything in between, we've got you covered. Your success is our priority. Join the ranks of the industry's top players and give your business the boost it deserves. Experience the power of Black Tie today. Visit blacktieDigital.com or call 1-800-316-8030 to schedule your free consultation. That's Black Tie Digital Marketing, where firepower meets marketing power. Black Tie Digital Marketing is a proud sponsor of the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade.
We're going to get into this. Todd and Charlie, you guys, Charlie is in Michigan, I found out. Todd, where are you located?
I'm also in Michigan.
You're in Michigan as well?
All three of us are from Michigan. So Trevor is missing today. He had an appointment, couldn't get out of. But
damn it, Trevor!
I know.
Dadgummit. All right, well that's fine. We got two of the three, which is, and then Ron is in North Carolina. So we're kind of over here in the southwest or east side of the country here, south and north. Got it covered. We were talking earlier about that, the smoke from the Canadian forest fires. You know, how bad that's been. We still seem to be getting a lot of. Are those under control yet? Do we know? Have we heard? I haven't heard much about them much anymore, other than just seeing the haze.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about them except for the haze.
Yeah. So I guess they're getting them under control there. I don't know. But we do have Canadian listeners, so like I said, I do love you, Canadian listeners. Appreciate you. All the raw deals that they've gotten with their firearms up there, it's a shame. They're a cautionary tale, and we have to follow them here in America. We can't let our rights slip, and that pistol brace thing that's recently come down. You guys been keeping up with that? I'm sure, being a stock company, that's probably on your radar.
Yep.
Yeah. Have you heard the latest on that?
Just that it's pending.
Yeah, there's been several injunctions from different groups. They haven't done like a complete injunction on the whole ruling, right? It's just those people who have the certain lawsuits that are protected under that.
Yep.
Yeah. So, technically, if you're not a member of one of those firearm coalition groups, then you're a felon if you haven't registered your pistol brace or taken it off and disposed of it, got it out of your house, because they're saying that if you still have it, even if it's off of your pistol, that doesn't count, because you could put it back on and, they're still going to consider you a felon. So, use your best judgment.
It's not a lawmaking.
It's not a law. It's a rule.
So how can you get arrested for something that?
How do they do a lot of the things that they do, Ron?
Right. It'd be like an illegal search and seizure too, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So until somebody's got deep enough pockets to really give them a fight for a run for their money, then you're going to be the guinea pig if you want to take that on, and that's up to you. So, like I said, use your best judgment as that goes. I'm watching it closely. You got to write and call and email and go in person to your representatives, and you got to start at the local level, your city. You got to start at the base, the core roots, and work your way up, and let everybody know your opposition to any more firearms laws or restrictions or rules, because they're all unconstitutionally, they're all unlawful. So that's my opinion on that. You guys want to chime in on any of that?
Concur.
Yeah, it's number 2 for a reason. It's pretty high on the list.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
There's a comedian, there's a little skit that's going around on Instagram, and this guy's talking about the country and the Constitution, and he's like, it was the second thing they wrote.
Yeah.
The second thing. Like,
it was probably the first.
Saw the value in it.
It was probably the first, but then as they were talking it out, they're like, oh, wait a minute, what we're doing right now is probably more important than that, but that's going to protect what we're doing right now. Right. So, yes, absolutely. That brings us to Leadheads. I'm warming us up. We're getting ready for the Talking Lead Planes and Train segment. We're going to do some Jackwagons and honor some heroes. So, Gunny, bring that train in.
Hoorah, Semper Fi, do or die, hold 'em high at 8th and I. It is time for the Talking Lead Jackwagon of the Week, so brace yourself, baby.
So, all right, the train has stationed, and we got some Jackwagons, a few Jackwagons to take care of. And I'll start us off because we got the new guys here. They're not familiar with how we do things here. So this is kind of a warm-up, guys. It's to get our motors running, get our thoughts going, and maybe get the poisons out of our system, make us feel better. So I'll start us off. I was listening to a local radio talk show the other day, and they have these people call in. And this guy that's hosting the show is new to our area. He's only been here about a year or something. I don't know where he's from. But this guy called in and was asking about the gun show loophole thing, which we're all familiar with when liberals and leftists and gun grabbers bring up the loophole, exactly what they're talking about. There is no loophole. It's just a thing that they're trying to poison people's minds with that, as gun owners, as when we want to buy or sell our guns, that we have to, and we're bound to go and do background checks and submit them and have the government, track and watch our every move, which we don't want. We really don't want that. But this caller was talking about, and he was saying how staunch of a 2A proponent that he was. He goes, I am, a diehard 2A proponent, but, this gun show loophole has got to go. And I was like, well, dude, if you're a staunch 2A supporter and proponent, then you would know that there's no 2A loophole, and that is completely legal, and you got to check your state and local, whatever. But to do a personal transaction, to sell your personal property, firearms are your personal property, and it's legal to, if I wanted to sell that laptop right there, I don't have to go get a background check. If I want to sell my car, my automobile, I don't have to go get a background check. If I want to sell my axe out there, I don't have to go get a background check if I want to sell it to Todd or Ron or Charlie. So, the same thing applies with firearms. If I want to sell my firearm, and it's got to be in state. I can't sell it to Todd, Charlie, or Ron face to face or in person. If I did it out of state, then we're talking about sending it to an FFL and doing a transfer and all that. But state to state, you don't have to do that. So, if I want to sell it to my neighbor over here, I can do that. But guess what? There are already laws in place that if this guy's a felon and I'm selling him a firearm, or if he's not allowed to have a firearm, there's already laws in place that are protecting people from selling to bad people. Okay? So to protect yourself, you probably want to ask for some ID, or you might even want to go to an FFL yourself and police yourself. Don't ask for governments to put laws in place to do this stuff. If we as a community will just take it upon ourselves to be safe and cognizant of who we're transferring our firearms to or selling our firearms to, then that's going to keep the government out of our business and thus furthering them taking our firearms away from us. So that's just another form of the gun registration or these background checks that they're wanting to do, and they're saying close the loophole. Well, there's no loophole because it's legal to do a person-to-person personal property sale. And gun shows, when people are set up and have these booths, I think the majority of them are FFLs if they're doing gun transfers, and they all do the background checks there. You have to do that there. Now, there are people that walk around that have guns that they're trying to sell because they know people are there wanting to buy guns. And there's nothing wrong with that. They can legally do that. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But if they sell to a felon or somebody who's not supposed to have one, and those people go and they use it in a crime or something, then guess what? They're going to track that back to you, and your ass is going to be in trouble. So you have to be very cognizant and aware of who you're selling your firearms to. So that's my jackwagon, are people who are of that mindset that say they're 2A proponents, but yet they're also willing to sit down and compromise their constitutional rights. How about you guys? Did that give you any ideas on Jackwagon?
I got one. Yes. We live, I live in a beach town. We ride our e-bikes. We ride everywhere. Year round, unless it's a torrential downpour, we're not on the bike. My jackwagon is the person who has a red light and rolls all the way up into the crosswalk when we're coming down the bike path and is turning right but looking left and doesn't even see you. And then you sit there and you look at them and they look at you like you're the one that's wrong. So that, and also I've almost been hit a couple times. I was hit on my motorcycle too. So, I should be expected. But what I have done is I got in a cup holder, put it on my handlebars of my e-bike, and I have one of those maritime air horns. So when I come up to the Jackwagons, I just lay on that horn, scares the crap out of them, makes me laugh. I feel better. Usually if there's somebody behind them, they see what happens. they're laughing. So, yes, I had a problem, and I came up with a solution.
There you go. And that's a good point there. I like that. You had a solution to your gripe. That's perfect. How about you, Charlie, Todd? You guys got anybody or anything? It could be a thing. It doesn't have to be a person.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I got one. It's kind of a little related to that. So I don't know if you guys are aware, but Michigan has the greatest roads in the whole country.
Yeah.
Right? Want to bet?
And for some reason, almost half of the roads around Detroit area and up north are under construction right now, all at the same time. Like, you can't drive 2 miles without hitting an orange barrel. It is that bad right now. And it's perfect time for, summer travel. So all of us are really dealing with it, trying not to hit bikers, trying not to hit each other. So it is chaos in Southeast Michigan.
They've got that government funding that if they don't spend it, then they're not going to get it next time.
Yeah.
Yep. That's exactly it.
Yeah. Jackwagons.
Yeah.
How about you, Todd?
And mine would be social media, and I would say that it's pretty much, a significant issue as a business, and you're trying to advertise your business, and there are just ridiculous rules. And probably the most difficult part about it is that you can't talk to a person. So, I'm going to call out the social media issues with for folks that are in the gun business. That's kind of a jackwagon move is to not put a person in place to discuss us. We had a conversation with somebody on one of the social media platforms. She claimed to have gone to our website, told us everything about, how awesome our company was. And she said, your biggest problem is you sell guns. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to wait right here while you order one. And we'll watch your order come through. Yeah. Right? So they just don't know, right? They need to be educated.
They see a gun on your website.
Policies.
Yeah. And they automatically assume that you're selling guns. They don't care, but that's the problem. They don't care. But you're associated or related to the firearms industry. It's like, I don't sell guns. I sell information and freedoms and entertainment. But yet I am still choked down, bottlenecked. What's that? What do they call it? Black
listed.
Shadow ban.
Yeah. That's it. Shadow ban. Just heavily shadow banned.
Yeah.
Just because I'm associated with the firearms industry. And like you said, and there's nobody that you can't get in touch with these companies either and say, hey, you just took down my post and it does not violate any of your rules. Explain this to me. And there's nobody there. You can't get in touch with anybody. It's just, you got to take it, which is, again, fine. And we have to come up with a solution to this. And the solution to that is start our own. Somebody within our industry, come up, start our own. Rumble. So we've switched over to Rumble now. And Talking Lead is on Rumble. So you listeners, go to Rumble, follow us. We just did that within the past couple of months. And it's slow starting. And, Rumble's rough to figure out and to get going. But you got to start somewhere. And at this point in time, Rumble is our safe haven, and we're able to go there and talk and post, about our firearms, about our industry. And I've not had any issues so far, but I do need more of you subscribers to go there and subscribe to our Rumble channel. I just posted the video from our latest AK corner. So if you want to go watch that video, go to Rumble, because I'm eventually going to stop posting to YouTube just completely. I could care less. I don't want to deal with their bullshit. And if you're a follower on YouTube and you're upset about that, I'm sorry. Go to Rumble. It's free. It doesn't cost you a damn thing. And it's probably going to be a lot easier, and you're going to be able to see a lot more content and hear more truth about firearms than on YouTube. So go to Rumble. That's my solution.
Have you guys tried? We haven't done it yet. Have you guys tried capitalizing on Twitter now that it's free?
That it's free?
It's free to move about freely, no restrictions.
Well, that's not true, because they still are. They talk a big game, but they haven't actually followed through with all that big talk yet. Ron. So
Okay.
and I'm not against going there and trying it. If somebody wants to go there and give it a shot, by all means, please do. But I gave up on Twitter, a long time ago, and until I actually see a difference, I'm not really going to put any more effort into it, because there are other platforms like Rumble that I know aren't going to be squelching us and shadow banning and doing all that nonsense. So, what about you guys? Have you guys noticed a difference on Twitter? Have you done anything different on Twitter?
We just recently started our Twitter posting pretty much when Elon Musk took it over. So we started kind of moving and doing some Twitter posting there.
Okay.
So definitely our followership there is smaller compared to Facebook.
Yeah. So here's my Rumble, and I've got a whopping 7 followers on Rumble right now. So, all you listeners, I know you're listening, and I know that, a lot more than 7 of you are on Rumble. So go, and I don't know what you do. I guess you follow, you like. I don't know how you do it. But just go in there and type in Talking Lead, and we've got our new logo. You'll see the new logo there, and you'll see our videos. I think I've probably got like 9 or so videos posted up there so far. But I mean, like anything, you start from scratch. You gotta work your way up. But
Gotta cut your teeth.
But I will say that on Instagram, I don't post to Twitter, but if you post on Instagram, I think it automatically posts on Twitter or something. I can't remember.
They removed that.
They did?
They removed that, when Elon took it over, because ours used to do that, and we were updating it a couple weeks ago, and we were looking, and it's not an option anymore.
Okay.
So that's Zuckerberg's way of not supporting Elon.
There you go. Is Instagram and Facebook the same people?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about YouTube? Is that a different?
No,
Yes.
but I think they live in the same neighborhood.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think YouTube is a Google company.
Maybe, because I know that it will let you tweet. So when I do a new post on YouTube, it will let me tweet it or whatever. But I think you can still do that on Rumble too. But here's the thing on Rumble: if you share it to Facebook, it says private video, and it doesn't actually put the video up on Facebook if you try to post from Rumble. So there's not that compatibility, which I'm not mad about. But I was on you guys, so you guys are on the social medias too. Here's Ryker USA. They're on the Instagram, so if you guys aren't following them, go follow Ron and Ryker USA over there. Give them a like. He's got some videos. And you just did a course recently that you invited me to that I wish I could have attended, but we want to talk about that too coming up. And then, of course, we'll pull your stuff up, guys, Valiant, here in a minute. So that's our Jackwagons. I think we talked about all the Jackwagons we want to, haven't we, for today? We got our fill. What about Heores? You guys got any Heores?
I do.
Let's hear them.
So I took a screenshot of this, and I read it the other day, and then I saw your email, and I was like, "Oh, this is perfect. This is what I need." The Instagram page is gladiator_6, spelled out SI6. These guys are down in Texas, and they were putting on a course, and right around the corner from where the course was, they heard a car accident, and 2 of the guys attending this class had previously attended other classes and had a strong medical background. So the instructors told those 2 guys to go. They were already moving. And I just wanted to hold up so you guys can see it. Go to Gladiator 6 and read the whole story. But these 2 dudes left the class, ran around the corner with their med kits. And
what is it? I'm going to pull it up here.
_SIX. Gladiator_SIX.
Oh, I didn't spell it right. Is that it?
No. The one all the way at the bottom. That one.
There we go.
So you can see it's the second post over. that's the car that those guys rolled up on.
Oh, dang.
And it was an elderly woman. She was in there. They have a picture of her if you slide through. And these dudes just like ran over and jumped in. And that's what it's about. You know, I teach that in my classes. I teach it to my son. I'm running a summer, 2 pilot summer camps, which start next week. And it's all about stepping up and being the difference. And those dudes sat there with her and stayed with her and did everything they could to treat her till the fire department got there. But that's what we need more of. So those guys are I just read that story and I was pretty pumped. That there's people out there willing just to dive in to chaos for somebody they don't even know.
I don't want to be critical, but why are they taking pictures?
Yeah, I kind of thought that too, but I think that was, I don't know, honestly. I don't have an answer for you. Okay. Maybe they were attending and they had another person there taking pictures.
Could be. I don't know. But I get what you're saying, and yes, absolutely. You got to be willing to step up because, again, you know, a lot of people would just, you know, sit there and wait for the paramedics to get there, and that lady could have died. So she lived and everything was cool?
Well, she was in critical condition. They didn't have an update on her status, but she was still alive with a faint pulse.
Jeez,
I think.
Look at that car, though. Holy moly!
Yeah.
What in the world happened? That's craziness. That car is just mangled.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Looks like it rolled down a mountain.
Yeah, it flipped.
There you go. So Gladiator 6, welcome to the Leadhead Brigade. Lead Force 1. Very cool. What about you, Todd, Charlie? You guys got any heroes?
I know. Charlie?
I mean, the only guys I could think of at the top of my head are farmers. You know, they've been dealing with a lot of bullshit lately.
Yeah.
You know, past 3 years. Like, they just don't get enough credit for the amount of time they put in. You know, they're keeping us fed, and our future doesn't look too great. So, be nice to your farmers, right?
There you go. Otherwise, we're going to be eating donuts.
Or butter.
from Kroger for $1.80 for a baker's dozen. That's my hero. Kroger for marking their donuts down to $1.80 when they're getting rid of them. We were telling a story earlier, Todd, about my shopping experience last night.
Oh, sorry, I missed it.
I got a score on some donuts. Scored big time on some donuts. No. So, and I can't forget to mention Father's Day was this past weekend. So, you know, all those fathers that are out there spending time with their kids, with their family, making a difference, putting the time and effort in, going to the ball games, going to the recitals, teaching them right from wrong, then, you know, those are the fathers that really deserve a big thank you and a ride on Lead Force 1. Are you guys fathers?
Yep.
Yes.
Happy Father's Day. Belated Father's Day to you all. What did you do for father, or what did your kids do something for you? Did you do something for your kids, your family?
I was sick with the flu last weekend. So we are celebrating Father's Day next week. Yep.
Okay. So you got one owed to you.
Yes. Yep.
Nice. What about you?
We went up to Sleeping Bear Dunes National Park, and we did some bike riding up there. Saw a lot of folks out. My kids are both military also. So my wife, prior service military. My son is active duty now, and my daughter served in the Army as a soldier. She's out now, married to a soldier. So we're this whole veteran kind of family, and we got out and went up to Sleeping Bear Dunes and hung out, took some pictures. And
that sounds fun.
You know, something that if you're not a veteran, which we found pretty cool, is we went over to the visitor center and we got the veterans mark on our license plates where we showed our DD214, DD215, 14, DD214, and showed it. And they gave us a lifetime pass to all national parks.
All national parks?
Yep.
That's dope.
The state of Michigan? or all
No,
over
it's
national
federal.
park?
Yeah, national.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys haven't been to Sleeping Bear, you should definitely do it. It's a pretty cool place.
That's cool. You can hold. Yeah, there it is. Very cool.
Very slick.
So a benefit maybe our veterans aren't aware of.
Yeah, I was completely unaware.
Yeah.
I've seen that before on I don't know if it was Task and Purpose or military.com. They put information out like that all the time. And I'm like, oh, I got to keep that in mind. But I haven't been to a national park yet to take advantage of it and need to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Cool. What about you, Ron? What'd you do for Father's Day?
We my son got me, we haven't finished building it. Lego. We got a Lego Star Wars. This is the Death Star, the trench run where Luke is being chased by the 3 TIE fighters.
Oh, yeah.
So we still got 2 more bags left on this one. Went to church, and then we went down. Awesome. My in-laws live down the road in South Topsail at the beach. So we went down and went swimming in a pool, and then got on the boat, went out to the sandbar, and just had a real nice day and had a big family dinner, and it was good. It was bittersweet for me. First Father's Day without my dad, but we did a good job making sure he was with us. So yeah, it was a good day.
Very cool, very cool. And that Lego set that you got there probably cost as much as an AR or something. yeah,
some of them. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Legos are expensive. They're like gold.
We only have one kid, and it definitely shows. We have outside Legos, we have garage Legos, we have downstairs Legos, car Legos, upstairs Legos. Oh, it's ridiculous. But yes.
Is he going to be an engineer or architect or something?
It's definitely.
It's in the cards.
On the cards, they're the path of possibility.
Kind of leading him that way. Very cool. And Star Wars, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. Love Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. Very cool. All right, that does it for our planes and trains segment, lead heads.
The multi-mount is a simple yet flexible platform that allows you to conveniently mount your everyday items wherever you may need them. A rugged 1.5-inch belt locks into the mount, allowing the attachment of any item that uses a clip or belt loop. With a quick release tab, you can easily swap out essential gear as needed. Ideal for mounting comms, tourniquets, lights, firearms, and more. The options are almost limitless. The platform comes with 2 backer options, either 3M adhesive or Cook backing, giving you adaptability and endless options on where you can mount your needed items. Access your essential equipment in your preferred configuration. Carry what you need, where you need, with our multi-mount platform, available now.
For your exclusive Talking Lead listener discount, use the code LEADHEAD for 20% off at checkout.
So we want to learn more about our guests now and their products. So, Todd, tell us about Valiant Dynamics, who you guys are, how you got started, what you do.
Okay. So we all came from the body armor industry, and that's where we met, in the body armor industry. So going to trade shows, we heard the constant complaint that the buttstock slipping out of the shoulder, right? There's got to keep that buttstock in the shoulder with your gear on. So even if you go to the Army's manuals on marksmanship training and the Marine Corps manuals on marksmanship training, they talk about the importance of building a good, stable, or sturdy shooting position.
Right.
And they even mentioned that if you've got a buttstock on your weapon and you're wearing armor, you're going to have to shift the buttstock inside or outside of the pocket of the shoulder in order to get a good, stable position. So through all that constant, listening to the customer, listening to the voice of the customer, Charlie, who is the inventor of the EvolvR Combat Stock, he drew up a concept, and he sent a napkin sketch over to me, and then eventually printed a 3D version of it, a 3D printed version of it, and sent it over and said, "What do you think about this?" Listening to everybody talk at the shows about the buttstock slipping out of the pocket of the shoulder, he said, what do you think about this concept? And then so from there, we just started designing and putting it into test and evaluation. As you can see, rotating the spur catch. There was a patented spur catch now, and you rotate that to the inside is primarily how it's supposed to work to your body armor, your shoulder strap coming down, so it catches right on the inside, and then it allows you to build a good stable shooting position. We want you to stay focused on what's going on downrange and not what's happening here in the pocket of the shoulder.
So, Charlie, talk a little bit about how you were inspired to create this.
So, like Todd said, we came from the body armor industry, and I was the lead designer for designing body armor vests and load-bearing equipment. And that was the number one complaint from all of our customers, was how every time they shouldered the rifle, it would either hit on the hard buckle, or it would hit on like the padded shoulder, strap, or it would collide with the hard armor plate and just want to bounce off every time you go to fire it. So I tried solving it through the body armor side, and it would never work right the way you wanted to, right? Because we always seen guys putting sleeves over the hard buckle, or they would put that rubber tube next to the buckle to kind of act as like a buttstock brace. I've even seen guys try to do it with magnets, with like a male-female magnet, and it would never.
I have firsthand experience with one of those systems.
Yeah, and like they did really good work on it, but it would just never function the way you want it to function. And by the time you're done getting that vest to accept a buttstock the way you want it to, you end up with this massive fabric and material buildup that it's too heavy, it's too bulky, it restricts your movement, or it's more cost ineffective, right? Because now you have to sew more, and it adds more material, adds more weight, and it just doesn't work the way you want it to. So instead of the body armor side, I went from the gun back. So I was looking at the whole profile, the complex profile of the shoulder pocket. And number one, you got to avoid the hard plate, right? You can't collide with it. And number two, you got to figure out a way to lock onto that shoulder strap. And our spur catch, this part, that is our way of doing it.
Okay, and that's the spur catch. So for our listeners, you can go to their website, which is it valiantdynamics.com?
Yep. Yeah, there's primarily there was a hyphen in between it, so Valiant-Dynamics, but we were also able to get Valiant Dynamics a little bit later, all one word. So both of those will get you there.
Very cool. And do you guys have maybe some videos or something like that? You got a YouTube channel, or you got them on your website?
We have a YouTube channel. And so if I was going to say, at the risk of sounding a little bit goofy, but calling out a hero, I would say for us, it's Ron, right? Ron, he has been constantly working with us and talking to us. He's into co-branding, and he's been a champion for us since we started. And so he's done a couple of videos for us. We're manufacturers, so it's kind of hard, to be everything to everybody. So, social media for us is a newer thing, and making videos and posting that information out there, it's hard. And we appreciate Ron for everything that he's done, and just the co-branding. We were at the OTOA show, having a busy show, and showing off the Ryker grip, and it was just a great show for us, and we appreciate that, Ron.
Heck yeah, I love the product. Just from the first time I reached out to you, I shot you that email and you hit me right back. I love innovation. I love, ingenuity. And I think I've said this to you before, Todd, but I think like my superpower is being left-handed and having grown up in the tactical space in the 90s when there wasn't a tactical industry, and the limited resources that were there were side specific to a right-handed shooter. So I like to see things that are different, and to see how other people are thinking differently. And I like it. Everybody I've introduced it to has positive feedback. So, and I think I told you this before, but I've had one guy who said he dremeled the spur off, and he said that was actually annoying him. He dremeled it off, and he loves it without it. He says it works perfect for him without it. So I mean, dudes are even taking it to the next level and, modifying it again. But the innovation in this one too, everything that went into it, the thing that I love, you have options. So it does more than one thing. It is a buttstock. You have the personalization for the fit, for your fast reference point on target transitioning, moving around. But it also gives you the traditional old school style routing the sling through the buttstock, and they have a built-in QD mount in there, which I think is you guys are really thinking about the end user. Those are two features that really stuck out to me the most on this. Now, I don't use this. That I like mounting behind the pistol grip. I did, however, though, in the 3-day course that we did a couple weeks ago, ran this on a Mitchell Defense 9mm SBR, and I ran the sling back there, my sling back here, all the way up, to where it normally is behind the grip. And it took me a little bit to get used to it, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all.
So you didn't find
options.
Yeah, you didn't find that going from the traditional, vertical style buttstock to I'm going to call it a fist style. You didn't, as far as your operating and maneuverability and everything goes like that?
For me?
Yeah, for you.
It was seamless. Like I went out there and it was just like, it was like, holy crap, where has this been forever? This is awesome. And like on my primary rifles, that's it. Yeah. And I even have it on, I've got it on 2 of my shotguns that we use for demos and for the shotgun courses and stuff like that. I've got it on a Mossberg, and I've got it on a Black Aces Tactical. I love it. It's on when I go to shows, it's on, I think if I have 6 rifles displayed, it's on 4 of the rifles displayed. And one is, it's not on because that one has a really sick Cerakote, and then the other one's for an AR-10. I like it. I don't think it gets in the way. I actually think it's just a lot more streamlined. And the other thing too is, a lot of times I found, like they were talking about with the body armor issue, is, depending on swimmer's cut or not swimmer's cut, where your plates are, like I always found myself on the natural curve of my pec is where I would always rest my my buttstock. And now I shoot offset 45-degree, red dot. So that's how I've trained forever, and with the Ryker grip, just letting it sit in my hand. Now with this is just, once I get the spur set for whatever I'm doing, whether it's with kit, with just a chest rig or nothing, I get that set after a couple, warm up, dry fire stuff. And it doesn't matter. I'll put it in the center of my chest. I'll put it on my shoulder. I'll put it low. I don't know. It just works. I think it makes it, it enhances your abilities, and I think it just, you're not thinking about it as much.
Yeah.
We'd like to see the look on people's faces when they're running it and when we're showing it to them, right? Is at first they're kind of like, wait a minute, no way. Did that just happen?
Yeah.
Hang on a second. I gotta do that again. I gotta see that again. And then they're like, and you can just see it. It's like, holy cow.
Well, I gotta admit, when I first saw it, Ron showed it to me. I thought it was a new pistol brace design.
Right.
Because it's very minimalist when you first see it, and you're kind of looking at it, you're like, okay. And then he starts going into, the function behind your, what do you call it? The little
the spur-catch.
The spur-catch. Yeah, the spur-catch, the rotatability, and then what that, the catch is all for. It's when you're wearing your vest to go comfortable around those buckles and whatnot. And it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. So as he got into and explaining, I was like, oh yeah. So this is not a pistol brace, lead hits.
No, we're very clear about that. Like from day one, we were advertising as a shoulder-mounted stock. So if we start calling it a brace,
but apparently there's no such thing as braces anymore anyway. So everything's a stock.
Yeah,
everything's a stock now anyway.
The other thing too, with the innovation of it, if you look at the buttstock industry, the buttstock it went from the fixed buttstock from the M16A1, transitioned down, and then the collapsible, the generic buttstock with the the D-ring in the back for your sling keeper. All of the designs from the buttstock until the EvolvR have been based off of that triangle shape, even the skeletonized ones. It's all essentially been just reinventing the same thing. And that's the other thing I liked about these guys. They threw that out of the picture and completely came up with something that had not been done before.
Yeah. Almost a honeycomb type shape, which, the honeycomb is the most structurally sound geometric shape there is. Yeah. It's very sturdy, and you can you probably crack some doors with that too.
I would want to make sure I collapsed it before I started smashing with it. But at the same time, I'd hate to catch one of them in the face, right? Some of the
it's like a fist.
Some of the rifle combat close combat with your rifle, and if you're striking somebody with it or giving them a smash with it.
So how long have you guys
launched?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just to say, when we launched, what you guys are holding in your hand, that's Rev 11. So we put a lot of time and effort and resources into getting it out to T&E, getting it back, making the adjustments that we got in T&E. So we didn't just launch something that we thought was good for the market. We launched something after we were redesigning it and sending it out for T&E and then redesigning it. And then finally we settled on the version that we launched into production. There's a pretty good white paper that we wrote on our website down in the footer. You can read the white paper about it. But it was interesting, in the data that we collected, 89% of the evaluators recommended the EvolvR Combat Stock, and that was after we sent out 130 of them when we went into production. And then 85% say it's easier to mount the weapon with the body armor on with the EvolvR Combat Stock. And that was after...
What's up, guys?
45% said they didn't even have a problem with it.
Yeah, I'm just going to let that play while you're talking about it. So I'm on their YouTube channel, so for our viewers, they're seeing this video. If you're listening, you can go to their YouTube channel, and there's an instructional video. It looks like Ron is your model.
Yeah. Just from the day that we first had conversations, we hit it off, and we've been talking ever since, and we appreciate all the assistance.
Now, is this your first release of this stock, the EvolvR?
Yes. Yep.
And when did you first release this?
This was, we went into production we purchased the tooling and went into production in September of 2021. And then we had product in November of 2021. And then February of 2022, we kind of had our full grand opening launch.
Yeah. Now, talk about your backgrounds. I know you said you have military background. Which branch were you in?
So, yeah, for me, prior service Marine Corps, I spent 14 years in the Marine Corps, was a Marine sniper, infantry, did some time in logistics. So I know about the gear. I know about moving the gear. I know about wearing the gear, using the gear. Got out, went into the manufacturing business, and now I work in contract management, the DoD space. Everything from body armor when I was selling body armor to all the way to Navy ships.
Gotcha.
And then Charlie and Trevor and I, we just sort of came together as friends. We were working together at the same company. We stayed in contact, and we just developed that idea and that relationship, and then we came together to launch Valiant Dynamics.
And Charlie, do you have military background?
I do not. No.
Okay.
I went to college for industrial design to design, four-wheelers, dirt bikes, and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And then after graduating college, I went to work at Crop Precision for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Loved working there, but hated New York. So ended up leaving, found a place in northern Michigan. Did their non-ballistic development for about 5 years. Then I just got tired of doing, body armor and load carriage gear, and went off on my own to do freelance. And that eventually evolved into Valiant Dynamics.
Yeah. So Todd, when you were in service with the Marines, and you're operating and whatnot, was this a thought that you had while you were, running your gear, running your rifles, that this shit's really uncomfortable? There's got to be a better solution for this.
I was pretty thick-headed back then. So for me, I was just doing what everybody told me to do. Put it out on the ball of your shoulder. Make some adjustments. Do whatever you need to do. And something like this never really crossed my mind back then. And then when I saw the first prototype from Charlie, I was just like, no way. So
did you go to him and say, I've got this idea? Whose idea was this?
It was mine from the beginning. Yeah.
Charlie, it was yours?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey, that's Jade.
Mm-hmm.
I know her.
That's like my little sister.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love Jay. She's
been on the show
super
before.
tight with our family.
That's cool. I hadn't talked to her in a while. Tell her I said, hey.
Yeah.
So Charlie, you said you worked with Cry, and so you're working with these operators, high-speed guys, and
Yep.
Were you hearing feedback from them, or you're just watching them and you're like, I've got an idea?
Yeah, over the years, I would just watch them, see how everybody would kind of fidget around and try to find that sweet spot. And like what Todd was saying, they're just kind of modifying their position just to get a shot off. And for some guys, it works. Other guys, they complain about it. But like Ron was saying, how buttstocks just haven't evolved over the dawn of time. Like they're all that skinny, elongated, strip, and most of them are really flat. And unfortunately, humans and body armor are not flat. So running a flat surface on an uneven surface just doesn't make sense. So I had this idea. Pressure tested it for a while and kind of came up with, I think it was like Rev 5 at the time when I talked to Todd. And I said, explain to him how it kind of works and what it's for and this and that. And from day one, he immediately got it right away because, like you said, we were at the trade shows and that was the number one, complaint.
Yeah.
you wouldn't have heard it, in any other industry like we heard it.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So, so you had this idea, you came up with the design. You're working with these two guys, Trevor and Todd. Do you take it? At that point, are you taking it to them? Say, hey, I got this idea. Let's start this company.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's neat too, because not only do we all get along, we like each other, we're friends, but we each have our own unique skill set, right? So Charlie is design. Trevor is an engineer, so he knows how to build it efficiently.
You gotta have an engineer in the group. You just can't get this shit done.
Yep. And then my background in the defense industry, so it just works really well. We ran a nice competition in the white paper. There's on page 9 you can read about the development and the competition that we ran for the injection molded parts. Happens to be a veteran-owned injection molder in Michigan too. So we ran a really good competition across the United States, and we used all those things that I know how to do about getting good competition, from my time in the defense industry.
Yeah. And what's Todd's background?
Trevor's?
I'm sorry, yeah. Sorry, Todd. Trevor, yeah. The other two.
Trevor is a real live rocket scientist. So he designed naval warheads. So he's an engineer. He spent some time working as a government employee, and then he eventually moved to northern Michigan, and that's where we all work together. Yeah.
Now, I would take it that you guys are targeting more the military, government type agencies with this product. How's that going?
Yeah, really, really well. So we ideally right out of the gate, military, law enforcement were the targets. So those are the guys that are wearing the gear, that know what it's like to shoot in gear. They're the ones that we hear at the trade shows and we're talked to at the trade shows. But now that we're launched, Optics Planet, for example, picked us up. Oh, cool. And then we get guys that are just building a new AR platform, and they want something super unique that they haven't seen before on their build.
Yeah.
So they'll email us and ask us, about different specs on it and what we think, because they've got a new build.
Yeah. So as you're getting this feedback from the end users now, as you're getting more and more people using it, what are some of the ask that you're hearing from them?
I would say that there's a small group of people that want something like a cheek riser, because they're taught that head up approach. So, some want a cheek riser. Some are police vehicle related. So the rifle locks inside the cars. When you put our buttstock inside of the rifle lock, it doesn't fit like a traditional stock does.
Right.
So that would be one. We've got some prototype stuff we're working on around there.
Would you just develop an adapter that goes on their existing lock system?
Yeah.
I mean, that seems like that'd be the easiest way instead of redesigning yours.
Yeah, we're not making a lock system.
Yeah.
And what we find too is that the majority of them just keep it in the trunk of their weapon or the trunk of their vehicle anyways, because their weapon has a lot of other things on it that prevent it from going in the lock.
Yeah. That's true. Definitely. Very cool. So you've birthed your company with the EvolvR. Am I saying that right? EvolvR?
Yep. EvolvR.
Okay. Yep. So this is,
and it's for the evolution rotational butt pad is the how the EvolvR, the name came about.
Okay, and it's EVOLR, right?
V capital R.
V capital R. That's right. Yep. Did you get that from Ryker? Did you borrow their big R? Oh.
Match made in heaven.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, very cool. So, like I said, I've been impressed with it. I haven't had an opportunity to go out and actually run it yet, but I was going to take it to Ron's course that he just recently had, but unfortunately I wasn't able to go. So, talk about that course that you just had, Ron.
Yeah, so that course was supposed to have been last year. We had to postpone it, and what we were trying to do was do kind of a train the trainer event. And then we got the idea to let's kind of make it a big media production and make it a co-branding event and get companies to sponsor. And it was a tall ask for what we were doing. We did it all at the Osprey Training Facility in Council, North Carolina. This is a phenomenal place. They've recently actually just started a new 2-gun series, which is pretty neat. And there's a competition each month, and they're building up to a championship round, and it all focuses on this whole property. We've got Subterranean, you got Hogan's Alley where we did all the shotgun stuff. You got some flat ranges. So we BZO'd the Mitchell Defense rifles. They came down. They were one of the sponsors. So everybody shot a Mitchell Defense AR or their 9mm carbine platform. And I think we had about half a dozen had the EvolvR on them. Right. All of them had the Ryker suites on them, grips and slings, and got those BZO. And then we went right into MantisX training. So we had Mantis out there, and Grant came up from South Carolina and gave a whole class on the X10 and turned it into a very competitive group we had. And it was straight just after like 10 minutes of instruction, it was competition.
So tell our listeners what the MantisX is.
Oh, I would tell you this is that being a firearms instructor and understanding cost related in trying to remain proficient and train in the firearms space with ammo, and then having the ability to go to a range where you can move freely, where you don't have to like go to an indoor range and you can't come from a holster. The MantisX is a personal trainer, personal firearms instructor in your phone. It collects data. The data doesn't lie. The numbers don't lie. And they make it a game. They have the Laser Academy. They have all these other features in there. So the MantisX 10, it clips onto the bottom of your pistol. It works with pistols, rifles, shotguns, airsoft, BB gun, live fire, dry fire, CO2. You set up your configuration, left-handed, right-handed. I optics, I think, are in there. You can really tweak it so it's personalized. So when it's collecting the data for you, it's collecting it off of your shooting hand, how fast you're transitioning between targets, if you're slapping the trigger, and it's
just like a laser technology that Bluetooth to your phone.
Yes, I'm trying to think.
I'm just trying to sum it up, just so they get a basic idea. So
it is Bluetooth, and you can see this is the X10 right here on the bottom of the shotgun, and just pops on and off. That easy. It's a USB-C charger. USB charger, and you can. And then when you put it on too in a program, you have forward facing or rearward facing. The other cool thing about this is it has a whole separate app. You can put this on your bow. And so you put the little sticky piece of pick rail on your bow, and this would do the same thing for shooting a bow.
You work on a crossbow?
So it'll work on a crossbow. Yes.
Crossbow right
there you go. So there's this, but then we transitioned into the MantisX Blackbeard, which is...
That sounds rad.
Yeah, so what you got, see, look at that Cerakote.
Yeah.
So you take your bolt carrier group out. You replace it with this one. You can BZO this elevation and windage on here, and then you charge this up, this Bluetooth to your phone, and what you get is you actually get a.
So what he's showing us for our listening audience is he's got an AR, and you change out the bolt carrier with the, I guess it's like a laser type system.
Yeah, it's the function. So the magazine is it's a standard same size as the magazine.
Yeah,
and it's got the two metal.
Okay, and that's your battery.
Points. Yep.
Yeah, that's your battery. So
this is the battery, and then this is like the CPU.
So the magazine goes in just like a regular magazine. It connects to the bolt carrier. It's got the connections there, and then it powers the whole system up there, and then you've got a completely trainable AR at that point, inert. Safe.
Yeah, so then we started doing competition with this, and there's a lot of drills in there. So there's a box drill, so you can set your standard left, right, left, body, brain, come back, and this thing is measuring your speed between shots, between targets, and then it's measuring accuracy, and it's measuring how's your trigger control? Are you too deep? Are you slapping? All this. And it is it's phenomenal, and it's so much fun. I'm actually we're actually going to go back down there, and we're going to do a whole compare and contrast with grip, without grip video series with Mantis.
Nice.
For us to show, because we did some, like, hey, let's see what works. So we did the whole box drill without the grip, and then we did it with the grip, and the grip edged. There was 10 of us shooting. Everybody's time was faster, and their accuracy was improved when they used the grip.
The Ryker grip is what you're talking about.
Using the Ryker grip on the Blackbeard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was day one. Day two, we went right into shotgun. My dynamic shotgun class I created. I've had a lot of people, in 15 years of running my own firearms instruction, I've had a lot of people like, the questions like, what do you use for home defense? And, what do you think about a shotgun for home defense? And I was like, that's great. And I was like, understand that, because I did ask this, understand that your insurance company will not cover damage from a shotgun in a home invasion. They'll cover the damage caused by the home invasion, but any secondary effects from a shotgun blast, they will not cover that.
Really?
Because you made the decision. Yes, I had a State Farm guy, Jake from State Farm, told me that, right?
Jake from State Farm. That's the commercial. That's the guy from the commercial.
Yeah. So I asked him, I was like, all right, so what's your shotgun? And they're like, oh, I got a 870, Mossberg 500, whatever. I'm like, okay, so you got five in the tube, one in the chamber. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay. I'm like, so six shells. I'm like, you know how fast you can go through 6 shells? And they're like, pretty fast. I'm like, yeah, so where's your extra shells? They're like, in my range bag. I'm like, where's your range bag? In the garage. Where's your bedroom? Upstairs. Are you feeling exposed? Right? So I created this dynamic shotgun course, which allows you to stretch your legs and understand the full capacity of a shotgun. not in a waterfowl like hunting type scenario. We run this course with a pump, semi, and magazine fed shotguns. And each course of fire, it's roughly 20 to 25 targets. We have little stands we put the clays on, and then we have steel targets throughout. So we have you moving to cover, your understanding, round management, your understanding your equipment capabilities, your understanding your abilities. But now you're having to manage all like the central nervous system, spike, the elevated heart rate. And, once you start getting fatigued, these turn into crab claws. Now you're trying to load like this shotgun, something that you don't do all the time, but this is now your primary home defense weapon system, but you're having trouble loading 2 shells in there, and you're like, so it exposes a lot of things. And then I always finish off with the magazine fed. I am a humongous fan of magazine fed shotguns. It's just, to me, it makes so much sense. If you have a strong carbine platform where you can change those mags, whether it's a bullpup or it's a regular AR platform,
seconds are life,
transition into a mag-fed shotgun, it's seamless. It's seamless. And this is Black Aces Tactical got me this, and I'm so grateful. It's a left-handed bullpup, so when I shoot it, it doesn't eject into my mouth, which is really, really nice. So it ejects out to the side, but I have a pistol belt that I made. I call it my John Wick belt by Wilder Tactical. Nice. So I start with a 10-round mag, and then my Wilder belt has 7 5-round mags in it. So I'm rolling with 45 shotgun shells. That's a lot of hate to bring for home defense. So we run that dynamic shotgun course on that, had everybody run through that. Then we went into a tourniquet class, had the fight dummy out there, had everybody, they had training tourniquets for the rest of the weekend. Then the next day we showed up, we did some pistol, some rifle pistol transition. We did a lot of vehicle work, had them teaching them how to fight with the pistol out of the vehicle. And then we put the dummy in the vehicle. They had to pull the dummy out and start doing the shoot, move, and communicate, put some suppressive fire down, and then tourniquet application, and then move off the X, all building up to our shoot, move, communicate drills out on their assault course at Osprey Tactical Facility, which spanned over about 75 meters is what they did, bounding up in a team of 3, starting with seatbelt cutting. I think I put that up on the Ryker Instagram. So we had the guys sitting in folding chairs.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that we're going to be doing in the summer camp, or maybe it was on the instructor 1 page. But
I think you put it in the
seatbelt cutting
stories.
is something that we're doing in the summer camp. And the thing is like, okay, you have it, but do you train with it? So I got like 300 foot of seatbelt webbing, and we cut straps, and we had somebody behind them in the chair. They grabbed the Rescue Me RESQ ME seatbelt cutter glass break, and they were just learning how to do that, and then they would go right on up and get into it. So yeah, ONE. There you go.
There it is. I was showing you. I pulled up Dissident Arms. Have you heard of Dissident Arms?
Yes. Yeah, I saw that.
They make some sick mag fed like Saega conversions shotguns.
Yeah.
AK.
So the second one in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the Rescue Me as a seatbelt cutter, and you can see these guys pulling it down, and you can see some EvolvR buttstocks in there, and so they're reaching down, they're coming on up. And the guys, getting feedback from people too. They're like, that was great, because they never would have thought about that. And I did another video about how we set them up in our cars, how we have them set on the lap belt of the seatbelt, where you could easily reach it with both hands, even if you were inverted and still conscious. So we threw that in there just to add a little bit more stress in there and to make the.
Well, it's a good skill to know how to do too, because all these people, they got these knives and they've got those seatbelt cutters on them, and they never used them, don't know how to use them. So, it's like anything.
Now, I will say, I tried out a bunch of seatbelt cutters, and A couple things. One, I love the Rescue Me because it's American made. That you got me right there. You had me at hello. But I had a couple other ones that were on the market that were being advertised, and my son was 4 when we were doing this, and I had the same seatbelt webbing. That Rescue Me was the easiest one for him at 4 years old to use.
Yeah.
So that's the one that we invested in. That's the one that I gave as stocking stuffers to the family for Christmas. That's the one that we have on in all of our vehicles.
Nice.
And they've also partnered with us. They set us up for wholesale pricing for my summer camp that I'm running for the kids. So all the kids are getting this, and the kids are going to be doing that next week. We're going to teach them how to do that, use the glass break, climb out a window. So
now these courses that you're offering, Ron, are these open to the public as well? Do you have a website where people can go and sign up for these courses?
So really, I'll train anybody. I'll travel to train, and I've got 3 facilities that I can use here in my surrounding area, Eastern North Carolina. But I don't really advertise training. It's really just word of mouth. Or somebody calls me up and is like, hey, man, we want to do this. And that's kind of how this one started. I had a bunch of guys that were like, I want to do some training with you. This is what we're looking to get. So I wrote the course out based off of the needs of the people that came in for the course.
Yeah.
And that was the whole premise. So
gotcha.
To me, it's more fun. Like I also do in North Carolina, we actually have a course commitment, a range commitment, and then a classroom portion to earn your concealed carry permit for the state. I'm certified by the DOJ to teach that. And I've been teaching that for like 14 years. And we do ours different than probably almost everybody in the state of North Carolina. We do a pistol 101 on the range. So they actually learn the fundamentals of marksmanship. They learn how to present from a holster. We learn malfunctions, multiple target engagement, shooting from retention. And I do all that in 70 rounds before they do their 30-round qualification. Then we sit down for 3 hours and talk about Castle Doctrine. So that one, and again, that's just really all that is just word of mouth.
Right.
I'm sure I could be a lot busier if we advertise the training.
Yeah. Sounds like you're busy enough though. So.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I appreciate you inviting me, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to make it.
Next time.
Next time, definitely. Put me on your list because I will make it happen. Definitely. That looks like a very fun course, especially with that Mantis stuff. I'd like to get a little more hands-on with that. I think I've actually got one of like their first models they ever did somewhere. I haven't used it in a while.
I've been with Mantis for like 8 years. There's a video out there. I'm one of their first crews. Me, Chris Pronto, Rudy Reyes, Daniel Lombard, Jeff Reeves. We went to Kansas City and we did a whole day of training with them.
Yeah. And
I've been a fan ever since. And I recommend it. I do dry fire practice with clients at my house, and we put them on the Mantis system. And every single one of them, they're like, "Yeah, I'm buying this today."
Yeah.
So
it's good for. Yeah. Isn't it the one that also tracks it too, and it'll show you if you're moving around, you know, what your
if you're figure eight
control and doing all that, and then it gives you recommendations on what you need to work on. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that system.
And then where's it at?
So Todd and Charlie.
And then you can work up to a box drill with a rifle like this. Cold, 97% under 3 seconds.
97.9.
6 shots.
2.4 seconds. Is that what that was?
2.9. 6 shots.
I mean, everybody can't be perfect. 2.7. Come on. Make it better next time. Do better.
I will.
What shotgun were you using?
For that was with the AR platform. The shotgun we ran the Keltec, the KSG, and we ran a Mossberg 500.
So I just want to say this, Chad, you were wrong. It was a KSG. It was not a KS7.
Yeah, it had 2 tubes, so 15 shots.
Come on, Chad, know your product.
We had a Mossberg 500 with the Kinshot buffer tube, the hydraulic buffer tube system in it. Which, if you haven't shot that is, it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
Then we did, we had a couple Benellis out there, and we had Black Aces Tactical Pro X and 2 Black Aces Tactical bullpups, a left and a right-handed. And
cool.
yeah, we nice. Probably on that day there was easily 1,000 target loads shot of shotgun shells.
Yeah. Now, are you guys going to be set up at any trade shows or anything coming up? Valiant, Ryker?
I don't have anything on the calendar right now. We're potentially going to go in on a booth, and maybe this is something that we can talk about later, Todd. But we're looking at going to CanCon in Georgia, and we're going to split a booth with Mitchell Defense. So we'll put all of our stuff on their rifles. We'll split a lane and then go. And then
you'll have to introduce me to Mitchell Defense. I'm not familiar with them.
I'll get you and I'll connect you and Nathan. He's actually another veteran-owned company. He's a special amphibious reconnaissance corpsman. He's also a recon Navy guy. He's from my world, and he got out and he's up in Pennsylvania, and his guns are sweet. They're nice.
Remind me to show you this when we get off. You'll appreciate it.
Oh. But so that's about it. That's in November.
So there's one coming up. And again, when we get off, remind me to tell you about, there's another one in Georgia. It's a big one. So I might be able to get you guys in on it. So
okay,
just remind me when we get done. So as it stands right now, if somebody wanted to get some hands on with the buttstock or the Ryker products, nothing coming up where they can go and attend, and no range days or anything like that you got.
Yeah, nothing that I'm aware of. We just finished up MTOA and OTOA, and we're looking at doing a third or a fourth show this year.
Okay.
So and just like Ron talked about, we're trying to do.
There's a lot of AK competition events coming up. Also, I don't know how well that'll translate to an AK, but a lot of them have been modernized, and they're put the AR adapters on there to where they can put any kind of buttstock that they want on them. So could be something. I don't know. Have you tried it on a folding stock yet? Have you put yours on a folding? Works good.
Yep. Yeah, no issues. Some folding knuckles are a little bit different than others, but it functions just the same.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, is it and it'll fit on any kind of like a 6 adjustable or whatever.
Yep.
4
mil-spec or commercial buffer too. Absolutely.
Yeah, we make them for a mil-spec. That was one of the things that came out of our T&E was we were trying to do a universal one to begin with, and then we decided there was enough folks that wanted 2 different versions, so we have a commercial and a mil-spec version.
Okay, and you got all kinds of different colors, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
People can get people who like.
Yeah, we got 5 colors on the mil-spec version. You get black, OD green, flat dark earth, dark gray, and foliage green.
There you go. And you can always rattle can it.
Yeah.
I always throw that rattle can on there, baby. I love rattle can and shit. Very cool. So your website, give your website.
www.valiant-dynamics.com.
Or you can leave the hyphen out.
Or you can leave the hyphen out,
like you said.
Email doesn't work like that, though, but the website will direct you there.
So your email, I guess they can get all that, links and everything to your social medias. All that's on your website?
It's all on our website,
the
absolutely.
YouTube channel, all that. Very cool. And Ryker, Ron?
RykerUSA.com. That's it, RYKER, USA.com. Ryker USA on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and also Instructor One, as we just saw.
Now, we talked about in that NRA episode, we talked about your new switch grips that you've got, the Ryker switch grips. Talk about, one more time, just refresh our listeners who maybe didn't see that episode yet, what you got going with the new technology in your grips.
So our ultimate goal from the beginning was to put the controls for your devices into the grip. 2 of the big things that we got from day one was like, hey, you should put your controls in it. And we're like, yes, that's letting us know we were on the right track. And then everybody was like, can you add texture? And we added texture. The other thing that we added when we released, we called the Ryker Control, CTRL, so you can control your equipment better. We were really thinking about the end user, and we've added in cable management clips on the inside on both sides of the grip. So the Ryker control comes in a single lead laser option with the crane type connector, or it comes in a single lead light option with the Surefire type connector. It comes with our standard, your standard M-lock post. And I say this every time. The Ryker logo is on this. As long as that Ryker logo is up, doesn't matter if it's for a left or right-handed shooter, the grip will fit properly. And it's going to come with our cable management clips. And I just put a video up on our YouTube about these the other day. And what this, okay, I got some Butterfingers
some
going.
Grip on those.
All right. So what we got here is, and you can see everything on this Black Aces bullpup. So we came up with these clips to remove the need for zip ties, rubber bands, and tape, right? So you can you line the cable up in the tracks behind here. You have these wings that come down that give you a nice extra added, bump protection, and they just clip right onto the top.
You should call them the OCD clips.
And then this is we found out. So this is the single lead laser, the crane type connector, but this is an Insight light that operates off of a crane type connector. We've also found that all the Hollow Sun light laser combos use the crane type connector.
Nice.
The Surefire one works just the same. Surefire adapter, and that's just the Surefire light. So it works either way. And then right here, I have the control set up with the app heel, so you can activate your laser.
You need one of those cord managements for your headset.
Yeah. The thing with the laser button, it is a momentary or a double tap for constant on. The light is momentary only. And with the cable management clips, if you're not running the Ryker control, I mean, they'll work on any rifle, but this is our DC mount, which has the pressure pad on the side for you, and then we just have that up there. So the clips are universal. You can run them on everything, even if you don't have the grip. And those actually were just put on the website last week. And then we redesigned our sling. So our sling comes in. The sling. Yeah, our sling comes in a traditional multicam. It comes in a black multicam, and we haven't released these yet. We have a limited number. We went a little old school throwback. We got a limited run of M81 Ryker version 2 slings, which are going to be on the website pretty soon. We're just actually waiting on product shots. But yeah,
these are very comfortable slings. I like it that they're not real thick either.
Yeah,
they're is that like a inch?
Yeah, I think like inch and
inch and a bit,
and
inch and a pinch.
One of the things that kind of like made us feel pretty good is we just got picked up. Our slings just got picked up by some of the top tier special operations units.
Yeah, so congratulations.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You guys are cranking out some good products, and I like to see that you've evolved from. And I've got the original one. I don't know. I think it's on one of my guns in the safe. But from your original one to where you guys have evolved, and you've listened to the end user, and you've adapted, and you're making things. You're listening to your people, and you're making what people want. So
yeah. And
for our listeners who don't know what the Ryker grip is, it is a side mounted. It replaces basically like your vertical grip, but it mounts on your side, and it fits right in your hand. So go to his website, check it out, watch this video. You see exactly what we're talking about. Very cool. So have we talked about all your products, Valiant? You guys got anything new on the horizon that we need to be that you can talk about?
Working on some stuff, but it's nothing worth showing yet.
Can you talk about it? Can you give us an idea, or is it hush hush secret? Give us an idea what you're working on. This is the show for exclusives.
I'd say a little hush hush. I mean, we showed it at the show a little bit just to give a little bit of an idea of something. So, yeah, right now we're just gonna.
Just stay tuned.
Give me a little something. Give me a hint.
It would be for the 12% of the people that maybe aren't comfortable with the EvolvR.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I got you. So something again on the tail end of the gun.
Yep.
Still looking at the tail end of the gun. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Got you. Very cool.
The Kel-Tec KSG 410 is the perfect sidekick with no kick. At just over 1.5 inches wide, just over 26 inches long, and just over 5 pounds, you'll be hard-pressed to find a more impressive 410 bore shotgun. In fact, it's the world's first and only pump-action 410 bore bullpup shotgun. The side-by-side dual feeding tubes and one in the chamber delivers an impressive 11-round total capacity, making it as functional as it is fun. Innovation, performance, Kel-Tec.
So, guys, thank you so much for telling us about your products. Now it's time to learn more about you personally, and maybe a little more about your companies too. But it's time for the new guy. And sometimes a girl. Questions. All right, so these are when I ask them, just first thing comes to mind. Give me your answer. And we've talked a little bit about this, your background. So, Todd, you've got a military background. You told us about it. Charlie, what engineering, strictly engineering background? Of course, the Cry Precision. You've worked in the industry.
It's an industrial design, human factors background. Yep.
Okay. And Ron, we've talked just briefly about yours. Would you give us a little more detail about your military background?
Yeah, I retired from the Marines 2010. Was primary MOS was communications, and retired out of Marine Special Operations as the operations chief for the G6, and created the first Marine Corps Special Operations Communication School, which is now is an MOS producing school, officially recognized by Communication Headquarters out in 29 Palms. And then I was a diplomatic advisor for 5 years after I retired. So I had cancer and couldn't retire anymore. And that's right about the time we started working on the Ryker grip. And then my son was born, and we had to come up with a name for the company. And my partner said, we're going to call it Ryker USA. And now I'm a retired stay-at-home dad. I teach soccer moms and special operators how to shoot. I invent stuff. And now I'm a camp counselor. I've created my own camp called Life Skills Academy.
Yeah, we want to talk more about that as we get into this too, so don't let me forget. Very cool. Busy man. Did you say cancer? We can't just dismiss that. Did you say you had cancer?
I did. Yes, that's how I got the call sign Instructor 1. I had testicular cancer at 42, and which will still keep me at high risk for the rest of my life, because it doesn't typically affect men past 36 years of age. A lot of it, my doctor believes it was environmentally caused because of where I was working up in northern Iraq at the time.
Yeah.
And there was about 8 of us on the very small project that within a year and a half of being up in this one area came down with some type of cancer. So I found it. The thing that was fortunate for me, and I'm glad you brought it up, but guys, if there's a lump, if you feel it, don't put it off. Don't you act immediately. The thing,
and don't tell me you don't feel around down there, because you're touching that thing every day. Come on, you're gonna know.
But one of the things I started doing is because 90 on, 90 off, and I started seeing like my whole body was just changing, my energy levels, everything was messed up. So I started seeing urologists to do blood panels, and this is how you get your insurance company to cover all of this stuff. You run it through urology, not through your regular doctor. So I was doing the blood work when I got home within 3 days of each trip, and right before I left, to see where I was at, so we could kind of find my rhythm in the event that I needed to do hormone therapy, which I'm not doing. So I had seen my urologist just about 2.5 months before I found the lump happened. I found the lump on a Saturday. I was in the shower, had an ultrasound Monday, got the results Tuesday, had pre-op Wednesday, Thursday was surgery.
Wow.
And yeah, so
just like that. Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, and I told him because I was supposed to be going back to work Friday. It was actually going to be my last trip. And that was like, hey, can I do this when I come back from work? And they're like, yeah. When will you be back from work? I was like, I'll be back in 90 days. And they're like, where do you work? I was like, Iraq. And they're like, yeah, you'll be stage 4 cancer in 90 days. The guy's like, he goes, this is an aggressive tumor. He goes, it wasn't there 2 months ago when I saw you. He goes, it has to come out right now. I'm like, okay, let's do it. So I got extremely lucky. They went in, they took the whole testicle, but I made a man.
That's instructor one.
That's instructor one.
Uno.
So you don't pick your call sign, right?
Well, yeah, but you were extremely lucky.
Take it serious. I got so lucky on that, and now we just really try to do our best to live, really clean, clean lifestyle.
I think you should also start maybe a YouTube channel or maybe do a podcast on insurance tips too, because 12 gauge shotguns. They don't. I did not know that. I got to check. So I would assume that they don't cover anything if you're returning fire.
So the way the guy explained it to me was, I said, if someone broke into my house, they kicked my door in, and they did that damage, and I was like, and I got into a gunfight with them, and I was using a shotgun, would all that be covered under my homeowner's insurance policy of destruction? And he goes, them physically breaking into the house, the damage that they did would 100% be covered. He says, but the damage that you chose to inflict on your property would not be.
I had no choice.
Yeah.
Jackwagons. There's your insurance companies. Yeah. Jackwagon. What if the guy had a shotgun and he was doing damage with his shotgun?
See? Yeah. So then just run downstairs and,
when he's dead, go put the shotgun in his hand and say, he did it.
Yep.
All right. So got your backgrounds there. Thank you for your service, gentlemen, Ron, Todd. Any law enforcement? You guys take on any law enforcement after any of that? No? Okay. And Charlie, where did you go to college?
College for Creative Studies in Detroit, CCS.
Detroit. So you've been in Detroit your whole life then, pretty much?
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah, mostly. Yeah. Very good. And what do you, I assume you carry? Do you have your own personal firearm?
Yeah.
What do you carry?
It's a Kimber 1911. It's a Series 1 before they put all those silly safeties in them.
1911 guy. Okay. And 45, I assume?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Todd?
SIG, 9mm.
SIG 9, okay. Ron? On what day?
43.
I guess it depends on what day, right?
One of the things that I teach is you got to have the commonality of stuff. If your bedside gun is a revolver, but yet your carry piece is a Glock and your truck gun is a SIG, you're not doing yourself any favors.
Yeah.
So we're pretty invested in Glock in this house. I carry a 43X. My wife carries a 48. So our mags are interchangeable. Our battle belts, both full-size Glocks, and then our carbines also shoot Glock mags. So everything that my wife and have forwards and backwards is compatible with each other on our team, But nice.
Speaking of carbines,
nice.
9 mils.
Yes. I do need one of those. But Glock 43X with I actually have a Swamp Fox, red dot, micro dot on it, and
I need to get in touch with those guys too, because they were supposed to have come by at NRA, and for some reason we weren't able to get them on. I think you were introducing me to them too.
Yeah, I've been running that one on my 43X. I think over 2 years.
Yeah.
It's held up. I haven't had any issues with it.
I've got a CT on mine, Crimson Trace.
Nice.
Yeah. It runs pretty good. And this is one of those Palmer 80s. Of course, they run. They run Glock mag, so it's a Glock.
There you go.
It's got a little different grip, though. A little different grip angle. I like it. I dig it. That's not my everyday carry. I'm a Glock guy
looking
too.
At it, just looking at it like that, it looked a little. The pitch looked a little bit like a 1911.
It's more like a 1911 kind of deal.
Yeah.
My buddy's got a couple of those.
Yeah.
I grew up on the 1911 in the Marine Corps and carried it forever. And it wasn't until 03 till I went to Yemen when I got issued a Glock, and I was just like, and then I shot, and I'm like, I'm hooked.
On that same train of thought and note, what was the first firearm you ever shot?
In the Marine Corps, or
no, ever first one you ever put your booger hook in?
Crossman pellet gun.
Pellet gun?
Yeah.
Was it one of the pumps?
It was a CO2.
The CO2?
Yeah, my dad had got me that. I honestly think I was like 3 or 4 years old. He had got it, and we would set up, we would set up like Matchbox cars and models and stuff like that for me to have target practice with. We're shooting like 10 yards.
Yeah.
I'm like 3 years old. He's holding me on the thing, and I'm sitting up there trying to aim in. But yeah, that was my first shooting experience.
Yep.
Right.
Benjamin Sheridan, same deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Todd?
It was a shotgun, just an old hunting shotgun. I was out with my stepdad, and he was trying to teach me how to use it.
Yeah. And do you guys still have those pellet guns and shotguns?
Yep.
I don't. But on the Sheridan pellet gun, my uncle used to have a Sheridan pellet gun, and he would take a match out of a book of matches, and you could put it and drop it in there, and that's what he'd fire off at me around the corner every once in a while.
Matches? Would it ignite them?
No, but it stung pretty good.
Yeah, that would be funny. What was the first real gun that you shot?
For me, it would have been the
shotgun.
M16 when I was in the Marine Corps.
Oh, the M16.
Me too.
Yeah.
Boot camp.
So prior to that, you guys didn't have like hunting rifles or anything like that, and didn't hunt or?
No.
I've only been hunting 2 years, and I'm a bow hunter. I've recently gotten into it.
Okay.
So yeah.
What about you, Charlie?
I want to say it was probably like a 16 gauge shotgun.
Yeah.
Over and under. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's a hell of a gun to be your first.
Yeah. Hunting's been in my family for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. When it comes to pop culture, what is your go-to like movie or TV show, or maybe it's a book or music? What is your just old faithful all-time favorite?
I'm old school hip hop.
Old school hip hop.
Like Big Daddy Kane, Run DMC, Eric B, KRS-One, Public Enemy. That's what I grew up with up in New England. And having a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old, I'm making sure that I'm giving him a proper music education. And that kid loves everything.
How about you, Todd?
Man, pop culture's throwing me off a little bit. I have 3 pretty solid movies that I watch. When I have change in my life, I like to watch Armageddon, Any Given Sunday, and then Remember the Titans.
Okay,
those are like my 3 go-to movies.
2 football and 1 world-ending disaster movie. Any Given Sunday, that's a good movie. Al Pacino, is that the one? Al Pacino, yeah. Cameron Diaz, is it?
Yep.
That was a good one. I like that one. I like All the Right Moves, football movies.
Yes.
Remember that, Tom
you
Cruise?
Garbage on my lawn.
Absolutely. What about you, Charlie?
I'm with Todd. I'm not much of a pop culture guy, but in terms of on my playlist, it's anywhere from Hank Jr. to Metallica to Tupac and Biggie. So
variety.
I'm across the board. Yeah,
variety's the spice of life, baby.
I would say the military did that to me too. I mean, when it comes to music, I'm across the board. I listen to anything and everything.
Yeah. What do you listen to really get you jazzed up?
Sorry, say that again?
To get you jazzed up, what do you listen to?
Kid Rock, Devil Without a Cause.
Little Kid Rock.
I'm getting goosebumps now.
Listening to Kid Rock. Very cool. You need to come to Nashville. He's got that bar here, Come down to Nashville. We'll go to Kid Rock's bar.
I like the old school Guns N' Roses too.
Yeah, little hair bands.
A lot of jamming that while we were in squad base.
Oh, I'll bet. So that's our pop culture. So you guys don't like get into the video games or any of that kind of stuff, I'm sure, probably. I don't know, being in the military, they have a lot of video games over there too for downtime.
Yeah, I
didn't get into it.
Was it like Rainbow Six was just sort of like first coming out when I was
how old are you, Todd?
In the 90s. I'll be 55 this year.
Okay. So we're about the same age. Ron, how are you?
I'll be 52 in August.
Okay. What about you, Charlie?
40.
You the babe of the group?
I'm the baby. Yep.
See, we got good diversity on the Valiant Dynamics team.
There you go. Yep. What about what's the other guy? It's not
Trevor.
Trevor. How old is Trevor?
I think he's 42.
Yeah,
in his 40s also.
Yeah, I would say maybe probably 40. Yeah, he's maybe 40, younger than 45, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the youngest. That's all that matters.
Has there been, and I assume that you guys have several firearms or have had several throughout the years. Has there been maybe a firearm or maybe a piece of kit or something maybe that you're a little bit ashamed to admit that you spent the money on? You know, like a High Point or maybe a Desert Eagle or,
Not that bad. For me, I'm always looking, like I say, I'll go to my grave not having found the perfect backpack, the perfect concealed carry holster, and a perfect sling. Well, I can take sling off that list. I'm constantly changing holsters. I'm actually my new Victos sling bag. Victos makes the 3 sling bags. So I started with the small one. I was like, I wore it for like 2 months. I got the middle one, the XL, and now I just ordered the bigger one. So I'm constantly changing bags.
So Mission First just came out with a new line of bags. I'll have to hook you up. Remind me.
Yeah, but I'm not afraid to buy dumb shit. I will buy something to try it and just like, you know what, if there's value in it or something.
What's the biggest disappointment? Maybe let me rephrase. What's the biggest disappointment that you had all these expectations for and it just didn't live up?
I bought this thing called the John Wick holster, and I didn't even watch the video. I was like, they were like, this is the John Wick concealed carry holster. I was like, boom, order. I get it. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So it's an Apex. It's a very minimalist holster. The only good thing about this holster is that you can make it ambidextrous. You can flip the belt loop around.
Okay.
But this whole thing is they said you want the pistol sub. So the pistol grip the belt is covering your pistol grip. They want you to stick your hand in the pocket, put your finger on the muzzle and push the pistol up to free it and then retrieve it with your hand.
That's not what John Wick does.
No, it's not. And I was so mad and I was just like, so I save it. And when I teach my concealed carry class and I'm talking about equipment selection, I call this the never ever. So
yeah,
never ever. But that's probably the worst piece of kit I bought that I spent $30 on.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. What about you, Charlie? I see you thinking there.
Oh man, so there are several body armor vests that I completely regret saying yes to. But the one thing that it still gets kicked around the floor all the time are one of those what do you call them? The under the arm holster things with the
shoulder holster.
Yeah, like I got it. It had a cool, neat buckle on it, so like I wanted to get the buckle, and like I don't use it.
It's like the guy in Riptide. Remember that old TV show Riptide? He had that shoulder holster.
Yeah.
Don Johnson. He carried that.
Don Johnson had one. Yeah, Miami Vice.
That 1911 10 millimeter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what about you, Todd?
I would say probably I was thinking about that. So non-ballistic plates for training in plate carrier. So I've purchased some non-ballistic plates. And then you were saying earlier, probably the thing that I thought that was the weirdest is also plate carrier related was the tough hook. like I got the Tough Hook came with a plate carrier that I bought one time, and I was just like, I didn't quite get the purpose of it, mostly because I couldn't figure out where I was hanging it.
What was it called? Tough Hook?
The Tough Hook.
It's a hanger for a carrier plate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I see you got one behind you there.
Yep.
You got it hanging on something there. That's not the Tough Hook, is it?
That's just like a stand.
I got you. All right, so what is your next gotta have, wanna have? As soon as you get the time or, the scratch, you got, a couple more bucks you need to save up, what are you going to purchase? Could be anything.
More ammo.
More ammo? Yeah, you can do that right now.
Yeah.
There's some smoking deals on ammo right now. You need to load up on the ammo. Especially some 300 Blackout. I saw a great deal on some 300 Blackout subsonic the other day.
That Ruger 5.7's been on my list for a while now.
Okay.
That little the LC carbine.
Yeah.
Yeah. That thing's keeping me up at night.
Okay.
It's funny you said it earlier, the Desert Eagle. I mean, just for a long time I've looked at it.
Did you want a Desert Eagle?
Yeah, and I'm kind of like, but I got a little savings account for it. I don't know if I'll make it all the way there. We'll see.
Oh, you can make that. You get one more sale and you're there. How about you, Ron?
Oh man, I want the Gen 12, the Genesis Arms 12 gauge.
Oh my
SPS.
gosh, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Those things are badass. I had those guys on it, NRA too.
Yeah, they were supposed to. They have one coming to me. Just hasn't got here yet. But
talk about mag-fed shotgun.
Oh man, I got that thing. Wow.
Yeah.
When I get that, I'm never shooting an AR again. I'm just going to shoot that.
And you need to get some enhanced insurance for your house too. No doubt.
Some ballistic walls down my fatal funnel.
Yeah. So this one is, think of the last question, but just souped up. So laws be damned, money be damned. What would you own or do? No laws apply. No money. Money's not an object. Sky's the limit.
20 acres.
Yep.
10 houses in a circle, underground tunnel system. all climate controlled, everything. Fallback points in the house. Fully, I don't care, saw, whatever, rooftop position, everybody house, full perimeter, and a moat around it with 2 points of entry in with a drawbridge.
So in today's compound, kind of. Are you going to have miniguns set up on the perimeter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that or maybe Sea-Wiz. Says the money's not an object. We'll have a Sea-Wiz up there.
There you go.
Yeah.
5 Sea-Wiz.
I like it. I like where your head's at.
You got to put like crocodiles or hippos in the moat too, just for fun.
Piranhas with lasers.
Yeah, I'm right there with Ron. I would definitely do my own community. Absolutely.
Yeah.
20 acres. You can get bigger than 20 acres. You need like 15,000 acres, 100,000 acres. What you, Todd?
I think it'd be a private jet.
Yeah, like Lead Force One.
Yeah, and the primary thing there would be just to close the distance, and to take time out of the equation for folks.
Okay, so just for personal travel use, have like your own big Trump mobile,
personal business,
Trump plane.
Personal business, anything, I've looked into flying a couple of times or getting a pilot's license. People talk about $100 hamburger, and it's just that's because it costs $100 by the time it's said and done. They get in an airplane and they fly to a small airport and they go get a hamburger there.
Yeah, that's fun. That'd be fun. Now, would you have it weaponized? Would you weaponize your personal jet?
Yeah, I would absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, with
I
all
wouldn't
these,
give away all the secrets, but I certainly there'd be something
with all these UFOs, floating around these days, or UAPs, I think is what they call them now. you got to have something up there to protect yourself from the unknown, right? Yeah. So that being said, how do you guys feel about what are your beliefs in UFOs, UAPs? Not in the sense of I'm talking about alien, extraterrestrial, or maybe even Bigfoot.
Oh man. Well, you'd have to be a fool if you don't think it's possible. Like we can't be the only planet in this universe.
Can't be the only life form in this infinity
there's
of
something else
space.
out there. There's gotta be.
Yeah, but do you think that they've actually made it here? Do you think we've actually been visited?
Yeah.
Ron does. But he's shaking his head. Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Have you had an experience, Ron?
No, but it's always been something that, like, I don't know if you guys might remember this. Remember the Leonard Nimoy show when we were
In Search Of?
In Search Of?
My favorite show.
That had me hooked. And that hit everything. That hit UFOs, that hit Bigfoot, that hit Loch Ness.
Yeah,
like
paranormal, everything. Yeah,
it's funny you said Bigfoot because we just other thing I'm doing too because it's my responsibility to raise my son correctly. We are introducing him to real movies. So we watched Harry and the Hendersons the other day, but he's also seen Kelly's Heroes and The Real Dirty Dozen and Hondo and McClintock and the original Big Jake.
Apocalypse Now.
Not yet. No, not yet. Not there. Fistful of Dollars, few dollars more. He's
spaghetti westerns. Hell yeah.
Yes. But no, I mean that's the thing. That's one of the things like Joe Rogan's always talking. There's an author, Annie Jacobson, and she wrote a book about Area 51, and it is like it's freaky. And she also wrote a book. It's about the Surprise Vanish Kill, I think is what it's called.
Okay.
And it's about Ground Branch, and it focuses around, and he just passed away a couple months ago, Billy Wall. This dude has been in every single conflict from Korea all the way up. He was running operations at 85 years old. Like, this dude's insane. He's a MACV SAW guy. But so she's a research author, and she did this big book about Area 51. And it is like, I don't think that, I mean, our government's corrupt and they spend money and they waste money and all this.
Sure.
But I don't think the Area 51 would be what it is if there wasn't some truth to it. Right. And so you
don't think it's just our government out there just doing experimental shit?
I mean, I think with technology now the realm of possibility is going to be even more skewed than it's ever been with all this AI crap that's happening now.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, I'm not saying that it didn't happen because, like, hell, I mean, I wouldn't mind a Millennium Falcon jumping into hyperspace, flying around, Like,
you want to change your money be damned, laws be damned? You want to own the Millennium Falcon?
I think so. Falcon. I think I want the Millennium Falcon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that.
And I want a set of Beskar armor.
Yes. Absolutely. How about you, Todd? You're like a skeptic to me.
I'm sort of a guy. I got to touch it. I got to feel it. I got to see it to know that it's there. Yeah. But like Charlie, I do believe that the possibility exists
for aliens, for extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
I'm like you guys. I think
I can't believe that.
I can't believe that there's not another in all the billions of statistical possibilities, quadrillions. I mean, unfathomable amount. Yep. That there's not some form. I mean, maybe not just like us, but some form that's out there. But I don't think anything's ever been here. I don't think that we've ever been visited. Yeah. Although the ancient alien theory does hit home, quite a bit. that there's another planet that's in a larger orbit, that gets in our orbit every millennial or something like that, and these people off jump their planet to our planet, kind of deal. I don't know. So, and then Bigfoot. What do you think about Bigfoot? Yeah, I don't think there is a Bigfoot, so to speak. I like the idea of a Bigfoot. and I would go on a Bigfoot hunt to try to find one, not to kill them, but try to find one. I would love to do that.
I mean, what if Bigfoot's awesome? What if it's just like, still, he's not a threat, He's a herbivore.
Well, I mean, he's
just
like Harry and the Hendersons.
Yes, exactly.
But who has Bigfoot killed? Nobody that I know of. I mean, I haven't heard any reports of people getting murdered by Bigfoot. So
Nope.
My kids are huge Bigfoot fans. They watch all the Discovery Channel,
Yes.
like Bigfoot hunters and expedition stuff,
Yeah.
like religiously, right? And it's just to wonder why they haven't come across like a set of Bigfoot bones, So
yeah, or
But
scat
they love
or
it.
something. Yeah, it's just like UFOs. It's always, well, we don't know for sure. There's question, there's doubt, kind of thing. All right, next question. This is our last question. If you could spend the day at the range with anyone or any group of people, whether they're fictional, dead, still alive, who would you like to spend the day at the range with? Start with Charlie.
Founding fathers all day long.
Ooh, okay.
Right. Yep. Shoot the shit with them all day long. Absolutely.
And say, what did you actually mean here?
By founding fathers?
Yeah, our founding, when they did the Constitution, and all that, they did all that. Yeah.
Everyone who signed the Declaration, I'd have them
Pop
all
off
down,
a few rounds,
explain.
ask them some questions on that. Yeah.
Yep. Explain to them how the world is, what happened, all that stuff, and just get their opinion on everything. Yep.
Very cool. Todd.
Could be fictional too.
You get fictional, yeah. Dead, alive. Don't put too much thought
The
into
Terminator. The Terminator.
it. Okay, like the the T-800 or T-2000. I don't know what numbers they are, but
whatever the old school.
The original
Arnold. Yeah, the original Terminator.
Now, would you want the Terminator and Arnold?
That might be pretty. That might be pretty fun.
I would like to spend the day at the range with Arnold. There's a new documentary out on him. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I saw that. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I saw it. It's pretty awesome.
But just to pick his brain for a day would be interesting. I think. Yeah, he's led an interesting life. How about you, Ron?
It's I'm kind of torn. I'd like to take all of the 80s movies with all of the non-reloading and the non-aiming and teach them or teach the entire cast of The Walking Dead that you don't just walk around and you're getting headshots.
Yeah, and you turn your optic this way and not that way.
Yeah,
this is how optic
but
works.
I think if we want to look at like that would be cool. But I think it would be really neat to sit down with some World War II Iwo Jima island hopping Marines like John Basilone, and and just like. Just to hang out. I mean, that dude picked a machine gun up with bare hands and melted his hands got 2 medals of honor. Like, insane, so just going back into some history with some dudes like that and, sitting on the range with them or just even just chatting, cause you got to think, like, I look at that as, in the lineage, in the Marine Corps, our lineage and our history is something that we pride ourselves on. On our foundation. And I look back I was in the Marine Corps 9 months and I went to the Gulf War and I had minimalist training from boot camp and I'm in a war. So in my mind, I was going into like Vietnam in the desert.
Getting OJT.
At 18, 19 years old. And then as I earned my way into the reconnaissance community, it's like, I'm like, I did that and I went to we did in 93, we did a deployment. We were in Somalia and the stuff we were doing in Somalia, I was like, I tell these guys now about it. I was like, yeah, there was no body armor. We're in chocolate chip camis, green jungle boots, green deuce gear, M16A2, 18-inch barrels. And we're rolling up in a thin skin Humvee, kicking in the door, grabbing a dude, snatching him, throwing him in the back of the truck and then rolling out. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, that's how we used to do shit in the 90s. You know, and I think about that, but then you think about how these guys, like the assault and the island hopping campaign and all of that, and how these guys, how they trained. Like, it was very minimalist training, and these dudes figured it out, like literally under fire.
Yeah.
And that the dudes
unimaginable stress.
I've been fortunate. I've been fortunate to have had conversations with about 20 Evo survivors in my life, and man, like you want to talk about not feeling worthy? Like, just listening to these guys talk, it's awesome.
Yeah, I'd like to bring some of them back and just compare to what they went through, you know, to our modern day tactics in war, and you know, let them critique and talk about that. That'd be interesting conversation to have. Definitely. Yeah. Well, very cool, guys. You made it through the new guy questions. Congratulations. You made it. You did excellent. There's no winners or losers on the new guy questions. You all win. So congratulations.
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah. So our audience has had an opportunity to get to know you guys a little bit better. Is there anything else that you'd like them to know about your companies before we sign off here?
No, we're just getting started.
Yeah, you guys are new on the scene.
Yeah, I think probably the most important part for us is, you know, we put thought into it. We look at the data. You know, Ron said something about using data earlier when he was talking about the Mantis system, right? Using that data and trusting the data. So that's what we like to do. We like to listen to the customer. We like to use the data and make decisions based off of what that data tells us and the customers are telling us.
Yeah.
So if there's one thing that we learned, and that would be listen to the data.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And again, it's Valiant-Dynamics.com or just ValiantDynamics.com. They're on the Instagrams. You guys are on the YouTubes. Are you on the Facebooks and the Twitters, and
we got
soon
Facebook,
to be Rumble, right?
Yep.
Soon to be the Rumbles. And Ron, Ryker USA.
We're going to keep driving forward. I would like to say that try new things. Think, if you have an idea, talk to somebody, reach out. If there's something that you want to collaborate with us or another company, you should reach out to them. We've had a couple people. That's how we invented one of our products, was through somebody who sent us a prototype, and we're like, this is awesome. The other thing too, I think that we can do, and I've been doing it with the Valiant guys, is the co-branding, is trying to maximize effects on target. So being a breacher, you know, you'd want to have the maximum effects on target with the least amount of explosives needed. So co-branding gives us that. It's a guerrilla type marketing, and if you can get 3-4 brands to come together in unison and represent each other independently, then all
stronger
we're doing is
as a
helping
group
our community
than you are apart. Definitely.
Yes. Yep. So we're going to keep moving forward. We're going to be adding some new stuff coming up. We're going to be getting not changing directions, but adding into what we're doing now. And we're going to continue to look for great companies to support and work with. And
there you go.
I'm going to keep using my evolvers and spreading the word about that.
Very cool. And as you guys, evolve, and you got new products, you got new services that you come out with, get in touch with us. We're happy to spread the word here. Spread it to the Leadhead Brigade. They love hearing about new stuff. We love innovative companies. We love seeing new innovative products. They don't always all hit the mark, but everybody's different. So everybody's got different needs. So you never know what's gonna click, what somebody might need. So keep in touch with us, and if there's any connections that we can make, through our connections, be happy to make those introductions and those connections as well. That's what we do. We've been a part of many successful collaborations between companies. So that being said, go and support those that make this show possible. We talked about Mission First Tactical and all the awesome things they're doing. Leadhead, 20% off. Seal One, use their products to clean your firearms, keep them protected from corrosion. And they've got the new kits now, the new cleaning rod kits that they just came out with. So you can go there and get probably one of the best cleaning rod kits on the market at seal1.com. And that code LEADHEAD works for 25% off any of their products there. Factory 47 for any of our AK-47 or our AK Corner logoed items, our hats, our shirts, our hoodies, our Lettys. I don't have my Letty, but Ton Jones, I just sent him one. So you guys can go to his Instagram page. He just made a post on the one I sent him. You'll be jealous. Use the code LEADHEAD. You're going to get 10% off at Factory 47. Defiant Munitions. You want some good, high-quality ammunition. Defiant Munitions. Use the code all caps LEADHEAD. You get 10% off. They've got some great lever action ammo there, pistol ammo, rifle ammo. I use their AK ammo. Really like it. Medicine in Bad Places. If you guys need to put together your medical kits for your EDC carry, your truck kits, your home kits, they've got full kits. They've got piece it together items there, tourniquets, everything you need for all your medical needs. You go to Medicine in Bad Places. Leadhead 20. You get 20% off Medicine in Bad Places. And then, of course, our good buddies at Keltec. Anything but their weapons, you can use the code LEADHEAD, and you can get 15% off of Keltec. Any of their accessories for their firearms, their kit, their gear, anything but the firearms at Keltec. And we've still got that big giveaway from Keltec coming up. We had to push it. It's not going to happen in July, so we're looking at August or September. And it's going to be a big 3-gun giveaway with them, and we got about 10 other companies that are going to be involved with that. And one person is going to win everything. And it's all going to be stuffed in a Kraken case. Have you guys seen the Kraken cases yet? I think I showed it to you at NRA, Ron. It's got that memory foam.
Yeah.
So they've got a rifle case out now, big double stacker rifle case that's got their memory foam in it. And we're going to stuff it with pistol, rifle, shotgun, optics, lights, ear pro, eye pro, ammunition. It's going to be awesome. So we got that giveaway coming up. So stay tuned. We'll have more details for that giveaway as it develops. And then, of course, if you listen to the last AK Corner, we've got that Kopis 22 silencer that we're giving away from Aklys Defense. And you got to go listen to the last AK Corner. We did Romanian AKs on the last AK Corner. And Joe, out of the blue, said he wanted to give away one of these Kopis 22 rimfire silencers. And all the instructions are in that episode. There's a trivia question that we ask in that episode. So you got to go back and listen to that episode and do all the things that we tell you to do to be eligible to win this 22 LR can from Aklys Defense. That's going to be an awesome giveaway. That's going to happen on the next AK Corner. We're going to give that away. So you've got until July 15th or so. So hurry up, get it done. Get your well, I can't tell you what you got to do. You got to go listen. Can't tell you here. You got to go listen to that episode to find out what you got to do. And then, of course, Kraken cases, you guys want to get some of that alien foam. I don't know where they got the technology for this thing. It must have been one of those Roswell crashes or something that they got the technology for this foam. But it is amazing. You go to Kraken cases, use the code TALKINGLEAD, and you get 10% off. And that's their Icarus, their Sigma, and their I can't remember what the other one's called right now. But this is a small one. This is their Icarus. I'll show you guys this foam. I don't know if you can see it there, but it's lined with this foam. And it's cut resistance. It is heat resistant. I think it's like 800 degrees. I don't know. It's some ridiculous amount. You could throw a hot can in there, suppressor, close it up. I was putting eggs in here, just showing people how soft it is and closing this up with eggs in it. And it protects eggs. So Kraken cases, go check them out. And then, of course, our guests today, go follow them on the grams. like their page, buy their products. I don't know if you guys have any sales or discount codes coming up, but go to their websites, go to their Instagrams, and keep an eye on them. Let them know that you heard about them here on the Talking Lead podcast. So, Ron, I greatly appreciate you putting this together, brother. It's been great. Todd, pleasure meeting you. Charlie, pleasure meeting you. And maybe we'll get to meet your third partner the next time. Trevor.
Sure, absolutely.
Trevor, right?
Trevor.
Trevor.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So until then, Leadheads, as always, keep your loved ones close.
Firearms
closer. Specifically equipped with your Valiant Dynamics EvolvR Combat Stock.
And for your anything that you can shoulder fire and side mount to, the Ryker method, speed, accuracy, and stability are all improved. Set yourself up today. Use the code Ryker20. Train safe, train smart, train with a purpose, and be the difference.
Don't be dumb. Get you some.